So I guess introductions, maybe.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, like, who are you? Who am I? That's kind of the question of it all. So,
All right. Well, who are you?
I'm John. I tried to be a wrestler sometime in like '08 for a year, and I was absolutely terrible at it. I tried to give a vertical suplex, and I gave my trainer the most amazing brain buster.
Well, they started you off with the vertical suplex.
No. Like, the third.
I mean, that's some time at least.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just, I'm just not, dude, I don't have the athletic gifts, and the first time I stepped in a ring with somebody that wasn't my trainer, I screwed up my ankle, and it's still screwed up to this day.
Yeah, I know what that's like. Well,
I mean, and I just, I've been a wrestling fan since I was like, 3 or 4, Hulkamania, 1983, 1985 or whatever, larger-than-life cartoon character. So,
well, I'm Nick. I too tried my hand at professional wrestling. A very short-lived career. I probably only did it for about 4 months, and I do still feel the neck pain. That's something that I don't think will ever leave. So I can only imagine what these guys go through day and night, going every day at it. My interest in wrestling kind of started around 1996. I was a big Bret Hart fan, and my sister was actually into Hulkamania.
in 96?
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, but 96 with Bret Hart, isn't that like right around the time that, like, I think that's around the time when Hulk comes back and he's holding down Bret and...
Well, I'm saying my sister was Hulkamania. I started late.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so it's an older sister.
Yeah, older
Oh,
sister,
okay,
older
okay.
sister. Yeah, I started off, like, Bret Hart was the one that got me into it. And then after that, kind of watched it little by little, got big into the Attitude Era, and dropped off ever since. And now I'm here with you with the authority on wrestling, as it were. And I'm the mark.
You're the mark?
I'm the mark on the couch.
Okay. All right,
So you gotta take me through this.
Okay, so, but okay, just the Attitude Era for a second. Like, why did you stop watching during that time period?
Man, it was that big PG switch. There was something about the way it was written in the Attitude Era. Like, I really got into it. And I guess I kind of dropped off TV once the internet got big enough. So that pushed me away from wrestling, too.
Yeah, it's weird you say that. Like, it's the internet that kind of got me deeper into wrestling. Like 2000, 2001, I'm in college, and, like, I went from having, dial-up to broadband. And, like, I started finding out about Japan, Mexico, and New Japan, and FMW, and the FMW DVDs were out, and ECW was putting out its first batch of DVDs, and they had, like, Psychosis, and Masada Tanaka, and Mike Awesome, and it just, like, it expanded my worldview. And, like, 2000, 2002, 2003, like, I knew who Loki was. I knew who Bryan Danielson, Christopher
Yeah.
Daniels, like, I was into all those guys, and I'm like, these dudes are going to be the future stars. Like, I remember that I'm watching Punk give an interview in this, I think it was IWA Mid-South. I don't specifically remember,
Right.
but I'm like, this dude's mouth is money. And he's sitting there and he's insulting the people, but just like, you can just see star. Like, you could feel that presence. And this is all through the internet. And this WWE universe does not exist in. Like, they still hate the internet fans, but now the internet's everybody, so hating the internet fans is kind of stupid. But, I mean, it was just, like, it was so, like, niche then, but it's gotten so big thanks to the internet.
Well, the way the internet worked out for me in that case is as I got older, I kind of looked back at it retroactively. And I kept looking up those old matches that got me into it, and I slowly got back into it. I watched maybe 6 months of WWE again, and then I sort of fell off and started to dig deeper into those other promotions, like you were talking about, like Japan and Mexico, and all those are available online. So it was perfect for that.
All right, so I guess maybe we should talk about what this is. Like, as of right now, Dead Wrestling is, it's about wrestlers who are dead. And, they have matches, it exists on video, and we talk about it. And maybe in the future we'll cut it down to, like, one dead guy per match. But right now we're going at, there has to be at least 2 dead people in the match.
Yeah.
They can be managers, they can be valets. Like, I'm expecting, like, Survivor Series 88 to be, like, the buku of what we're going to do. And, like, and it's kind of, like, morbidly depressing, but it's just, like, That's how screwed up like wrestling is. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
it's for historical purposes. You got to archive these things.
Yeah. So this is going to be Savage versus Warrior. The notes. It's WrestleMania 7, originally scheduled to be held at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, but the WWF decided to move the event to the adjacent Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena. The WWF's stated reason for the venue change was that it had security concerns in the wake of Sergeant Slaughter's portrayal of an Iraqi sympathizer during the Gulf War. Excuse me.
Excuse.
It has also been speculated that due to poor advance ticket sales, the company would likely have difficulty filling the estimated 100,000 seats available. The official attendance for WrestleMania 7, held at the Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena was 16,158. Yeah, they were expecting like 100,000 people to show up for heel Sergeant Slaughter versus Hulk Hogan.
And only 16,000.
Yeah, like just bad numbers.
Yeah, jeez.
Bad numbers. But I mean, and I think like they were capitalizing on a political situation that I think ended like 3 weeks later or something. So it's just like it was tacky to begin with, and it was in bad taste, and just bleh.
I think they had like 90,000 just a couple years before.
Savage, meanwhile, was trying to regain the WWF World Heavyweight Championship that he had lost at WrestleMania 5 to Hogan, and challenged Warrior repeatedly to give him a shot. Warrior continuously refused to do so, and Savage decided to seek another remedy. During the match between Warrior and Slaughter, Savage and his manager, Queen Sherry, came to ringside and got involved in the match, which I think we're going to see a little bit of here on this link. Warrior picked up an interfering Sherry and tossed her from the ring onto Savage, and Slaughter capitalized by driving Warrior down, leaving him hanging over the second rope. Savage then struck Warrior with his royal scepter as Slaughter kept the referee's attention, knocking the champion unconscious. Slaughter then hit an elbow drop on Warrior and pinned him to become the new champion. After he came to and realized what Savage had done, Warrior charged to the back looking for Savage. He then issued a challenge for a retirement match for the two at WrestleMania, which Savage accepted. Notes from the lapsed fan. This is Dave Meltzer and some guy who I don't remember talking about all the WrestleManias.
All right.
I mean, really good. Like they just kind of go over each WrestleMania and they just
One by one.
Yeah, I mean I think it's like the first like 28 or 30 of them or something.
Nice.
But just, it's informative. The post-match is considered to be one of the best moments in wrestling. It's considered to be the best match of Warrior and Savage. And yes, the Steamboat thing was phenomenal, but that was Ricky Steamboat and Macho Man. This is Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior, a guy not known for having great matches, having a great match.
So it must have been something.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this was the first time like I ever kind of like had like a notion of like work rate. Of like guys going out there and busting their ass at like a different level. I remember watching this match and thinking something was different about it. Like I couldn't put my finger on it, but it was something.
You saw the energy in the ring.
Yeah, like it was a different level than anything I'd ever experienced before. And I don't know how old I was, but it was different. It really, really felt different. Let's see here. It's the return of Elizabeth. And this was Savage wanted to retire, to get off steroids and have a kid with Miss Elizabeth, and that didn't happen. The old school wrestling review, I watched this yesterday because I remembered it existed, and they talked about two specific things. Warrior actually walks to the ring.
Oh, that's a first.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of shots of Sherry's ass.
Oh, yeah.
So that was just like, I think there's like 5 or 6 of them, and she was like just playing it tail. And
Well, we'll leave that. We'll leave those in the notes, timestamp, so you avid listeners can get it.
yeah. You know, I think Sherry is really kind of underrated. Like looking back on it now, like she played a vital part in a lot of guys' careers.
And a lot of tantalizing camera shots.
Yeah, but I mean, but she played a role.
Of course.
That really didn't kind of like evolve for like 10 plus years. Like it was kind of her, and then it kind of went away a little bit. You know, and then you get Sunny and Sable and all these other, female valets, and they didn't have that over-the-top evil twist that really she did, but Sherry kind of paved that path for these other women, and she was involved with Shawn, she was involved with Macho. I don't remember all the other people, but she was involved with a lot of guys, and she was viewed very fondly, I believe, by a lot of people in the industry you know, as just being somebody that was, you know, hard worker and a good person to be around, you know, and she too has sadly passed, you know, and I believe also that was drug related.
Uh, of course.